The futurist Bash. Hello, Bloodstains. We had a
Hello,
good week.
Bloodstone.
We've had a good week, haven't we, Alistair?
Yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah, let's get into it. So we've gone straight in. We've definitely not had any technical difficulties. That's not why we're at this screen. Definitely none at all.
Yeah, none at all. This is definitely not take two.
Definitely not take two.
And anyone who says it is a filthy liar.
So, Alistair, tell me what happened in this game.
Roland Rat versus Freddy's Nightmare. So the inducements that I could see that Necro had taken, he had taken a wizard. He'd taken not a cheerleader. What am I talking about? You can't in this version. He'd taken a wizard, Sectech and William Cheney star players, and Halfling Master Chef.
Seem like good picks.
Pretty strong. He had a lot of inducement money. So in the first half, so the weather is pouring rain, which is probably not as great for Necro, not too bad for the Skaven. The early turns of the half, on the line of scrimmage, there's not a lot of movement going on. You know, it's about the first sort of 3 turns. The Rats are obviously playing a more conservative game. He's not taking big risks with them. I think he's just looking for a hole. So the line on the line of scrimmage is fairly thin. Slippery Simon, of course, has the ball. This is about turn 3, and Barry Wizards Slippery Simon.
I approve very much.
Yep, and stuns him. So,
not good enough. Not good enough.
So he couldn't quite break through enough to get to the ball. He gets a white up the side. I think he gets like 1 tackle zone on the ball. And the Rats just blitz that away. And another gutter runner just picks up the ball and runs back up the backfield, waits for Slippery Simon to recover, runs back down and hands the ball back off to Slippery Simon. So it cost the Rats a turn or 2 of repositioning and stuff like that. There was a lot of backwards and forwarding going on, a few knockouts. A zombie got injured. Not really a lot else happening. And eventually, I think the Freddy's Nightmares kind of fell for the ruse a bit, had defended for him coming down that right-hand flank that it looked like he was aiming for. And of course, with a movement 10 gutter runner, he blitzed the hole and just ran diagonally down the other direction, and no one could touch him. By turn 7-8, he scores, and quite a low scoring first half. So you can probably tell by that scoreline the second half does get interesting. And not a lot happens in a 1-turn kickoff. I mean, the Rats pull back and there's a couple of hits, but nothing very exciting happens. However, the second half is where the action starts. So
I bet.
Yeah, the Halfling Master Chef takes 1 reroll off. Nothing for the Rats to worry about.
2 for 2.
The kickoff event is Pitch Invasion.
Always exciting. Exciting.
Yeah. So, what did the Rats lose? The Rats lost a Rat Ogre in the backfield and 2 out of the 3 line Rats on the line of scrimmage.
No, that's not that defense.
Well, then the Necro lost 4 zombies, 2 whites, a ghoul, and the werewolf that was in the backfield.
That's really not good.
That's 8 players gone and 8 players down. And I think at this point, Rob goes for it. He moves Slippery Simon down. Something that's important to remember, he doesn't just move Slippery Simon down. He moves a backup gutter runner down with him. So, he's got it quite safe. He marks a couple, he's down there. So he doesn't quite make it to the ball, but he's there enough to mark it, I think, or maybe 1 square short. It goes back to the Necro turn. Again, there's more hits and then things going on. Nothing too exciting. But the main play here is he stands up the werewolf. picks up the ball, runs it out a bit, and then he goes to pass it. It's an inaccurate pass that he re-rolls, and the re-roll turns into a fumble. Personally, I don't think he should have made that pass. He should have just kept hold of the ball. And now we come up to a highlight about why you'd be very careful about leaving loose balls, even in 2 tackle zones, even in the pouring rain, where Slippery Simon can get to them.
This first clip is a little bit choppy, and I believe the last clip is a little bit funny as well. But every other clip from all the other matches will be fine. That's a promise.
Yeah. There are no technical difficulties. So, I mean, yeah, you're going to see, he's going to make a few of these safety blocks and things like that first.
Yep, nice.
But yeah, this is...
Doesn't get the down, so that's still a 4+ pickup.
Did risk a 1 dice block there, though. But...
the 1 dice was about reasonable, because if he got the wrestle, that's 3+ pickup.
Yeah, and he's got rerolls and things.
4+
that's it.
Pickup.
4+ pickup.
Nah.
And boom, straight in. That's the thing, that's 2 tackle zones and pouring rain. For Slippery Simon, that's just a 4+. That's a pickup worth having when you've got a reroll in your back pocket as well. And the worst case is even if he had failed to pick it up for the turnover, I mean, okay, depending on the ball bounce, yeah, it's 2 gutter runners. Somebody's going to pick that ball up. So you'll be very, very careful about leaving loose balls around Skaven, because they will definitely go for it. So I got to catch up onto my notes.
I suspect it was something silly next. Maybe let's go with the blitz. Was it a blitz next?
It was a blitz next. Sorry, yeah, because I've got it here. The blitz next. And I mean, at this point, of course, now the Skaven are 2-0 up.
The game is basically secure.
So Rob Top, I can kind of hear it in his head. I've done the conservative thing. He runs the 2 gutter runners. He blitzes through, creates the gap. He runs 2 gutter runners down. Somebody's going to get blitzed. I mean, there's no guarantee, but he does get some linemen down there. I mean, it's still calculated, but it has an element of risk there. And of course, he gets the gutter runner straight under the ball. I mean, no guesses about which gutter runner gets straight under the ball. Of course,
does the name start with Slippery and end in Simon?
You don't. And I mean, Barry. Oh, I've got to. He does. Sorry, guys, I've got to do some bit better note taking here. Picks it up, catches it. I mean, sorry, I do apologize, guys. I'm just getting it together. I can't even read my own notes now. So he does pick up the ball. I think there is a blitz onto the ball carrier, and it's just a push, and then he just runs it through again, and he just scores again. I mean, it was just 2 touchdowns in just quick succession.
They think it's all over, and it is now.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to avoid this blow-by-blow account in the future, because it's just like I got about 4 pages of notes just for this one game in front of me. No, I really do. Learning as you go. So we get the changing weather is nice. So what's important here is oh, come on, where did I put the because it's changing weather, so that's a kickoff event. Barry, so the ball is kicked and it lands closer to the line of scrimmage, but Barry doesn't pick it up, and he only leaves it in 1 tackle zone. I'm like, you're playing Skaven. I mean, I'm not trying to be offensive towards you, Barry, but you're playing Skaven, yeah? You don't, but 1 tackle zone. So if Slippery Simon can pick up on 4+ in the pouring rain with 2 tackle zones, in good weather with 1 tackle zone, so he just jumps in, picks up the ball, and runs it out. He runs down the middle. This is again now. Rob's finding his mojo with I'm going to take some risks, and he gets blitzed out of the way. You know, he gets blips, he gets knocked down the ball. But remembering, he always has a backup gut runner. The other gut runner picks up the ball, and that's touchdown number 4. You know, it was just, that was it. The game was over. So we're not going to blow by blow account. I mean, you know, he does score a 5th touchdown, but I think the next actual big important thing here, there's hardly been any casualties in this game, all game, at all. Turn 15, Angry Joe. Angry Joe kills the Flesh Golem. And I'm going to highlight that Jason. More than the 5th touchdown. The 5th touchdown, you know, sounded scary. That was it. He didn't even have to use piling on. So it was claw, mighty blow, dead Flesh Golem.
What a shame.
And sort of Barry's reeling from that. And at this point, that was sorry. The one thing I should mention is after that touchdown, the ball bounced onto the Flesh Golem. The Flesh Golem had picked up the ball, but this is turn 15. He was never going to score with it, you know.
Yeah.
There's a bit of backward and forward. It gets better than that. Angry Joe then turns around on turn 16 and kills Barry's ghoul.
So a golem and a ghoul for
just dead, and neither regen. Well, the ghouls don't get regen, but neither regen. So it was a really, really strong game. But it was a game. There was so much was going on. You know, I think that's pretty standard for the Skavens. You know, but I think the big lesson to take away from it is. It's true for elves as well. If you're playing any agility 14 with a bit of speed, you can't just leave the ball lying there. You know, you got to be really careful taking risks like long passes in a non-passing team where that ball could end up just floating around loose, because these high agility teams and high movement teams can get the ball wherever they want. But no, it was a good match. I mean, you know, there was a high TV difference. I mean, you know, Roland Rat are a big team in the league this season. You know, there was certainly
they're one of the favourites. They're one of the favourites.
Yeah. I mean, then they were only the little things I would have picked up there with the Necro play. Is that you just left the ball too open sometimes, you know?
All right, let's have a look at the statistics. Apparently, 0% ball possession.
Yeah, didn't touch the ball once.
Well,
he did actually. He touched the ball.
Did not end a turn with the ball in hands.
No. Not once.
176 yards run. That is 176 squares run, I believe. That is a lot of squares.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you just look, on the star player points there.
Yeah, all that kills, all that casualty stuff. Yeah. It was very much one-sided. But what about the dice results? Were they one-sided?
Well, like I've said, I find it hard to comment on the single dice at the bottom. It depends what they were paired up with, and depends what the rolls were for. But I know people like that, so we'll obviously still do that a bit.
Slightly under, probably should have got slightly favourable rolls, but not by much. Very much within margin of error for Roland Rat. However, that is very unfortunate for Freddy's Nightmares. That's 40. You should be, if that's at 40, these two should be at about 20. That is very unfortunate on the dice rolls there.
Yeah.
But
27 ones. Oh, if you could go back to the star player point tab.
Yeah.
Sorry, because we just skipped over that. I think that's important to see that Slippery Simon got 12 star player points. I mean, he got a load of star player points on his team that game.
Someone needs to get rid of that player.
And unfortunately, that's the MVP on Jason Voorhees. That's a Flesh Golem that died.
Rest in pieces, Jason.
Rest in peace.
Right then, let's go.
Sorry, on to the next one.
One.
Should we do their teams with the who level up?
That's right, level ups. Let's go to teams. Let's check. Roland Rat. I don't believe they got any level ups.
I don't think they did.
I will quickly just tab out and check my notes. Roland Rat got none. And neither did Freddy's Nightmares, but we'll have a look at what the teams are looking like now. So 120k in the kitty. One of the wrestle rats is down. Is it a niggling injury? No, it's just a normal injury. Just badly.
Yeah, it was a low injury thing. I mean, yeah. Looking at that, he's proper backup. Gutter runner is back again. I was just going to say, you know what? If I was Rob Top at this point, I would sack one of the low level gutter runners, replace it with another one, and just try and get doubles, a plus edge, anything.
He has an effective TV of 2.1k.
Oh, I know.
That is far. That is very scary. And Freddy's Nightmares. They're on this side? No, they're on the other one.
Yeah.
820. We're looking at a beat-up team with 10k, so I suspect something might have been purchased. Let's see.
Well, he can't get an apothecary. I'm not a very good necro coach. I don't mind admitting that. At this point, I would probably maybe just save up for the other werewolf. What do you think?
Yeah, I think get another werewolf, and yeah, it's going to be a building league. If you have a look at the actual teams in the league, there is a real disparity. There's a real difference between the high TV teams and the low TV teams.
There really is. If you're a low TV team this season, then you're just trying to survive and get a few level ups, and yeah.
Anyway, on to
the next.
Game 2. Shall we go to one of my games, or do you want to do your game next? Because
it's interesting that actually I think your order is slightly different to mine. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't mind just quickly talking about that game. I haven't got a ton of notes for it. It's really easy to do. Basically, I just wanted to survive this game. And I got so focused into trying to survive the game that I had a wizard and a bride and didn't use either. There were opportunities for me to get like a fireball down on 8 players. It has to be said, Daniel was playing a lot better than I last remembered, and that's no offense to Daniel. He's a new player, you know. But he left the ball carrier. So if you bring up the highlight on turn 2, this is the one time he left the ball carrier free. I'm only highlighting this. It was a very standard game. Chug down the field. This is to criticise. I should have fireballed that hobgoblin with the ball before I did this move.
Yeah.
I should have lightning bolted it. I should have just that was my one opportunity to flank around and grab the ball, and I didn't take it. And there weren't a lot of big plays in this game. And he just dodges away after this, and I should have used the lightning bolt at that point, and I didn't. And there are other opportunities later on where I could have hit like almost every square had a player in it, and I could have hit them. But I mean, it was a fairly standard. He dodges the ball carrier away and actually protects him a lot better. I can't get back through to him again, and he just comes chugging down the field, and I can't stop him. And I mean, it was totally on me. You know, I got so concerned about these players that
your precious ladies.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've got to watch that. I can get a bit like that with this team. You know, I get a bit overly defensive. Oh yeah, I get the ball in the second half, and I start running up one side of the field, and there's no way I'm going to break through. I hand it off, do a pass, run someone up the other side of the field. He's able to blitz that, and he gets a push, and I'm able to hand off to another player and run it a bit further up, and he hits that. And again, I didn't use the wizard at all. I just accepted that. Down they all went. He picked up the ball, caged it up, and just went chugging down the field again. And I deserved to lose that game. I absolutely deserved to lose that game. I didn't play my best. I got far too worried about losing the players, and Daniel has come on as player now. I mean, he's not going to make the same a little rookie mistake at the beginning, but he didn't end up paying for it. He realised, he compensated, and that was it. It was over. So I think I got a comment in one of the side league games. I found it a bit. It was like, you really needed to beat him in order to win the season. I'm like, it's game 1. Mind you, I'm not intending to win the season, so it's all good.
Let's have a look at the statistics.
It's fun.
So,
Yeah. So the less said about that, the better. But you watched it. Would you agree with that assessment?
you played terribly, in my opinion.
Thank you.
You played absolutely awfully. You were not going to win that game any day of the week, and I said you weren't going to win it, and you didn't win it. I feel pretty damn smug.
That's right. That's right. And it was. I mean, I'm not even going to come down to the excuse that it was. I just let it freak me out. I just anything. But in a way, I feel I got a little bit of a victory because all I've got is one miss next game and not half my team killed. So I don't. It's whatever.
Right. Let's look at the statistics. So yardage.
I'd rather not.
Yardage is about the same.
Yeah.
Of course, the bash team is going to bash more than the not bash team. 2 passes, 2 completions. All you can ask for.
Yeah.
I did like I don't recall there being a deep kick in that game. There was 3 kicks. I don't recall the Dwarves having to suffer a deep kick.
No, not at all.
Because that could have that changes the dynamic a little bit. So they were a little fortunate with that, but
no interesting kickoff event, nothing like
that.
I mean, because look at the star player points again, because I think it's it's a very low star player point game, but he interestingly enough, he's going for hobgoblin ball carriers and he's using the bull centaurs for blitzing and killing, and that's absolutely legitimate. I got a couple of passes and an MVP, so yeah, not really a lot there.
Yeah, you're slightly unlucky on your bash dice, but only slightly. Actually, a little more than unlucky, but
I wouldn't like to put this game down to any kind of luck. I mean, I know I didn't
play good enough though to win that game, but you were unlucky on the dice.
I mean, I don't think it was like I screened well. I mean, it wasn't like I played like completely badly, but it's just not using the wizard and forgetting that, and that's what was going to win me the game, and that's where I messed it up. If you get a wizard, you've got to use it.
Yes.
I mean, I can criticize Barry for thinking in the game we just talked about, maybe he used that wizard too soon. At least he used it.
I remember last season, Matthew and Rob were talking so much about how everyone seemed to forget to use their wizards. So first thing I do in the game in my game was use my wizard. And I knocked down a troll, which never came back for the entire game. So win-win. Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I deserve to lose, though. I mean, I don't think I played like yeah, but I did deserve to lose. Next one.
Last one. Grab them by the
This
goonies
was a great game.
And fly at the lizards. Well, the rustling of notes could be heard from far away.
Yeah. Oh no, I bought a pad just for doing this after that first game. So, I'm not going to go streaming through all that. Basically.
I'm based.
Yeah, sorry guys. I've really got to get. I didn't get a chance to properly look through my notes again like I intended to. So the Lizards take a wizard. The weather's nice. There's a kickoff. There's a blitz for the ghoulies. He's not aggressive enough on that blitz. He moves them down a little bit, but he doesn't move. I think he could have pushed through that more aggressively and threatened the ball more with the werewolves and the ghoul. And he doesn't. He's very held back. But there are a few gaps in the line, so the Lizards are trying to close in the gap. I mean, the Lizards do run into the problem that early Lizard teams have, is that their strength 4 Sauruses are great. Their agility 1, once you mark them, they're not going anywhere. He runs up the Crocs to mark the werewolf. I mean, the big point that happens in this half is he injures the strength 4 werewolf.
Oh, that's
only a badly hurt, and then he goes down. And it really is. I mean, And so Liam's a good coach, don't get me wrong, but you can see him trying to figure out how to play the lizards. I think he hasn't really played them before, and he's sort of learning them as he goes in the season. That's great. I like to see that. And he's kind of running people up into the backfield, and they're getting hit back. And there was a point where I thought, well, that's it, mate. You're the Necro are going to score, and then the Necro failed to pick up the ball, and a skink picks it up, and he basically does a pass with a skink. And it's like
preposterous.
Yeah, I mean, the Lizards don't have a passing game because their agility play is a stunt. He passes to the skink, and he ends up getting the skink up to the touchline, and he just gets to stay there and basically delay until he can score. Well, there are injuries, all through this game. I mean, in the second half. Yeah, I'm not going to take this. I've got essays of notes in front of me. Yeah, that's like I'm doing the Matt Oakley thing, and then going, oh my god, I can't even read half of it. He on the second half, brilliant coaching, and basically, so this time the ball gets kicked to Liam. And he's trying to use his ghoul as a ball handler, and that's the right thing to do. And he comes running down the side of the pitch. He's up players as well. There's like 2 injured skinks, Sauruses, and prodigy skink and a knocked out skink. I mean, Liam's up players. So Flight of the Lizards throw down a fireball. Knock down the ball carrier, it's right by the sideline, knocks down the ball carrier, doesn't knock everybody down, stands up a skink, dodges through 3 tackle zones, picks up the ball, 4+, no re-rolls, and dodges out. I think that's the highlight. Sorry,
let's have a look at that.
Bring up the highlight, because I think this is where it happened.
That is the highlight. It sounds very familiar.
Yes.
So you get bases the werewolf, and then punches the werewolf with the skink. I always love when the skink does a pow. I always
no, that was it. That was yeah. I've written that down.
Yep.
So yeah, he's doing some blocks. They are risky. He has got a re-roll.
I probably would have followed up with that Saurus.
I mean. Yeah, but that's the play. I mean, and he is getting that skink play down. That's the things you've got to do with them, But it is one of the reasons I say, if they don't level up and get something good, you've got to sack them, because the agility 4 skink or a sure hand skink or something like that, they just become awesome. But they need doubles to get those sort of skills,
Yeah.
So basically, that skink gets blitzed down, and I think Leon was actually manoeuvring his players right. He was compensating for him. He had really tight and close pitch control, and grab him by the ghoul. He was determined to try and get this bloody ghoul to score, and it just wasn't going to happen. The ghoul would pick up the ball, and he'd just get knocked down again. In the end, he'd got it into the other half. The werewolf, who was using the werewolf, blitzed the hell out of that Crocs. He was determined to get that Crocs down. So the werewolf was in the right place. He ended up just scoring with the werewolf. So I can see where grabbing by the ghoul, he doesn't actually like the ghouls very much, because he always ends up relying on the werewolves. But I think in that game, what it showed me, you need another ghoul. He needs another ghoul. He just didn't have, only one is not enough, as a ball handler. You need to have a back.
Well, so let's have a look at the statistics. 10 arm breaks to 6. That's unfortunate for the team that probably expecting to do a bit more bashing, considering their players theoretically have a bit more survivability than a 1000 TV Lizards team.
I'm not seeing the statistics. I am now. Yeah.
There we are. Yeah, you'd expect them. There we are. That's more like it. That's what you're sort of expecting.
Yeah.
Yards ran. Of course, the team with all the skinks is going to run quite a lot.
So you think that the yards ran is how many squares? It makes sense.
It might be. I think it might be 3 per. It must be. It might be 3 per
There
square.
must be.
It's either the one. They are. Is that multiple 3? It might be visible by 3. It might be that. Might have to
There's nowhere that outlines that. If you hit the star player point, though, because that's where there is something interesting in that. What?
That's a lot
Quite
of star
high.
player points. Let's see, 13 over here and 14 over here. So 27
And
star player points.
That's what that lizard team wants. That's what he wants. He wants a good spread out like that. And that I mean, the 4-star player points are Crocs. I mean, yeah. For Liam, it's good. I mean, he levels up Nigel Farage. That's the werewolf. He gets another level up in the werewolf. I mean, and that's really good for him.
Yeah, we haven't actually done level ups for the last 2 games, but I think we'll do all 4 of them afterwards. Let's look.
We didn't have. Did we have level ups on mine? Oh yeah, IDF got level up. IDF got level up.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing a bit untoward there, apart from quite a few stumbles. But he's made up for that in powers by the looks of things.
Yeah.
And fight the lizards. Yeah, that seems a bit all reasonable. Nothing really outside of the bell curve there. And pushes. Anything untoward up here? Bonehead seems about right. But yeah.
Oh god, yeah. It didn't actually affect him though. I mean, at one point maybe, but not really.
We're going to quickly look at stuff. people level ups. So IDF got a level up. Korath Thicto, that's not the right team. The Korath Thicto got himself a level up. What did he get? A lot. Nice, good choice. Obviously a smart, safe choice, especially as you said, he wants to make these Bull Centaurs blitzers. It took me a while to realise that IDF stood for Israeli Defence Force, which is why Benjamin Netanyahu is here. So
just a quick, as a commissioner, just a quick word on this. I don't care what you call your teams or any of that. No political discussion in the group. Anyway, carry on.
I don't care too much. What else? You got nothing, but we'll have a look at your team anyway.
I got a few that are very, very close though.
Yeah. Lots of players that are like 1 or 2, well, 3 away, 2 away.
Number 1 got the MVP, so she's 1 away. Yeah, I mean they're going to level up the next game. So I'm going to see.
I did realise you don't actually have any catchers. You have literally catchers and no player with catching skill, so that could be.
Well, I think Amazon catchers are rubbish. They don't get the extra movement, and I might get one. I might get one. If somebody dies, yeah, I might experiment.
Yes. Grabbed by the Ghoulies, they got a few level ups. Let's see, where are you? Grabbed by the Ghoulies. So, we've got a level up for NHS, Nigel Farage, and Jacob Rees-Mogg. So NHS got Guard.
That's a good choice. That was a double, so that's a good choice. Double.
Nigel Farage getting block. Obviously, that's a very good first skill for Werewolf. What was the other one? Jacob Rees-Mogg, who also got Guard. Yep, logical skill for the Whites. I did also note that Grammar Schools got a level up, but I presume it was a single because Grammar Schools now has 0 SPP.
Yeah, I don't. He must have sacked him.
Yeah, I think maybe it was just not his right sort of skills.
Or I think he may have lost one of his zombies and he's just called it the same thing again. That's possible as well.
Alright then, now on to my games, the games I looked at.
Yes.
So, Forgotten Fridge Raiders versus Dude, Where's My Chameleon? Matt versus Ken. One of the favourites versus a person who's never played Lizardmen before in his life.
No.
That's some painful numbers. 0, everything. Not a single armor break.
Yeah,
let that sink in for a little bit. Not a single armor break. Poor Ken. So, first half of this game, Well, actually, we'll take it in quarters. In the first quarter was the closest Ken ever got to getting the ball in the opponent's half and taking the ball carrier down. At the very end of the first quarter, we have our highlight, which is coming up here. I'm almost safe.
Okay.
I misremembered. Apparently, apparently, I changed my mind on the highlights.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I must have changed my mind on the highlights because that's not the highlight. That is because I recognise. So what else happened? We had basically Matt taking a slow, sensible drive, pushing it down the field, and just taking as little risk as possible. While Ken was playing like a person who knows how to play rats. But Ken doesn't know how to play lizardmen. Lizardmen aren't rats. He played like a dodge team, and that's what I was going to write about.
Yeah, it is difficult because unleveled up lizards are hard. Yeah.
However, we'll get to the second half where things get a little bit more different. He gets close to the ball on turn 4. Bases a Nurgle Warrior ball carrier, but not Pestigore ball carrier, but doesn't knock him down because it doesn't actually blitz him because he needed to use the blitz to make the hole to base said ball carrier. Second half, firstly, they just slowly run the ball up and get the touchdown. Second half, Ken's receiving. Grabs the ball, tries to move it up, tries to make it relatively safe. On the left-hand side of the middle of the pitch. And here we have our highlight. Now we have the highlight. Beast of Nurgle really stupid's at the back.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. If you
basing a skink that managed to run through, knocks down the skink. I thought it was the wrong choice.
It's interesting he didn't move anything next to that beast that he could have done to mitigate that.
He did have a.
I can't see that. Okay, no, it's fine. Ignore me then. That's fine.
Yeah, knocks down, and here we have a death. And he appos it, and it's a strength down. It doesn't say here, but it says there we are, strength down.
So he does have an appo.
He does have an appo.
Okay.
You know, I'd have taken the death personally. Save the effort. And to make it cooler, as you can see here.
No, I think he did the right choice appoing the death on a Saurus.
No, as in rolling. He's rolled the appo.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, what's the point in he's going to fire him anyway. I'm with you. Right, sorry. Yeah, I'm with you.
So, yeah, after that, ball comes a bit. Ball. He tries to dodge away his Croxagore, which he induced. He also put break tackle on said Croxagore. I think because he wanted to treat it like a rat ogre, trying to play what he knows with a team that he doesn't. Rolls a 1, fails the loner. So ball carrier in danger, and nothing really stopping a 2-dice blitz with any number of players. Knocks the ball carrying skink down. Ken fails to secure the ball, and then Matt just pushes his way through, picks the ball up, runs away, and scores himself one more on turn 16.
Okay.
But in the second half, Ken did play a bit more bashy, and didn't get anywhere, sadly, because all those skills on this 1700 TV Forgotten Fridge Raiders, absolutely ruined it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it was going to be a tough game.
Ken also induced a Hemlock, I think is the name of the skink with the stab. Stabbed something like 5 times, failed 5 times because he was always trying to stab the Beast of Nurgle.
Yeah, you should. The thing with stab is you've got to go for the armor guys.
So yeah, this is what the TV is. Of course, it is brutal. That is 21 TV to 5, and that 5 is probably getting sacked anyway.
I don't think taking break tackle on the mercenary Crocs was necessarily a bad choice. Remembering, of course, that the Lizards have a lot more movement than other Bash teams. I mean, I think the Crocs, is like movement 5, which is quite high for. I don't want to put Lizard players off. It'd be break tackle is a great skill on your Crocs.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate that that's when the one came in. I would also like to point out,
Yes.
I'm a bit all over the place on this one.
Oh, he got 4 level ups out of that, but we'll deal with that in a
bit
minute.
all over the place on this one. We'll go up to that. Let's look at these dice rolls. Let's look at these dice rolls, because we're going to go straight to Dude Where's My Chameleon, and we're going to hover over Bonehead. That shouldn't be happening.
54% Bonehead. Yeah, no, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, 3 Boneheads in the first 4 turns. 2 of them were blitzes as well. So, absolutely horrible first few turns we can on that. It was just unfortunate how everything went. If those Boneheads came off, if those blitzes came off and not boneheaded, we could have been talking about a different game. We could have been talking about how Ken managed to steal the ball. But I don't think
absolutely.
we would be. Yeah, it was very unlucky with that. He was very unlucky not to break armor even once. But he'll learn, because he's new to Lizardsman and he was playing, and I felt like I don't know how to play Lizardman.
But don't pick up until you can get the skills on it. I will talk a little bit about the development when we get into that, but you've got to get the skills on it.
I don't think Ken has figured them out yet either, so we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, let's go to level ups. No level ups for Ken, because that was highest SPP was 5 and it's a brand new team. He has 100k in the kitty, but he's down 3 Sauruses.
I just want to emphasise on the Sauruses again, and this is for both the new Lizard teams. On their first skill, if they roll a double, take block. If they roll anything but a strength up, take block. Just take block unless they roll a strength up. You absolutely need to get block on these players. Getting dodge on them it is not going to help you. Just take block, particularly the edge one, and you're going to get break tackle on them later and stuff like even an edge up. When I had a Lizard team, I think I ignored 2 doubles. No, it was 3 doubles and 2 edge ups just to get them more block. I mean, it's essential. It's absolutely essential. That's unfortunate, but you know what? He's got 100k in the bank.
Yeah,
he can replace that Lizard straight away. He can replace.
I think he's saving up for the Croc on that, because he's got the 3 rerolls.
No, I think that's viable. But I don't know. The Saurus is I don't know, a little bit more reliable. I think either way. I mean, I was going to go on, but it says 0 apothecary. I think he induced an apothecary.
He must have from that one.
So Ken, ignore all of that. Buy an apothecary. Just buy an apothecary. No, because if you lose I made a mistake when my Lizard team got crushed, and I kept trying to replace Sauruses, and I kept trying to replace, and then another one would get injured, or another one would die, or something bad would happen.
Let's just remember,
get an apothecary.
Last season he played vampires, didn't get an apo for the first few games, and got punished for it. I think he lost 2 vampires due to not having an apothecary.
Buy the apothecary now. It'll save you a lot of pain. It's early games. And you're trying to build them up, and you can't afford any more losses. Anyway, so the level ups, 4 level ups.
So 4 level ups, really? Was it 4 level ups?
It was 4 level ups.
Oh yes, Wee Man, Steve, Pentagore Jr. and Bighorn Valda. So let's start with Wee Man. Claw. So he rolled a double, I think. Oh no, they get on.
No, not Nurgle. Even if I think Wee Man, he's building into a killer.
Yeah, that's a scary killer. I'm thinking piling on potentially next.
Yeah, I mean, and he's not doing it anywhere else. Not building a whole team of killers, like what the Pest Wars I know we'll get to. He doesn't put Claw or Mighty Blow on those, so he's obviously getting concentrating on one guy as a killer. That's viable. I mean, he's got dodge on.
Next is Steve, oh god, the smell, who's got gained at dodge. so more
So,
survivable.
and that's what made me think he's not going for a whole team of killers, because dodge on an agility 2. I mean, it's viable,
It's
good choice.
survivability. It makes sense. I think it
It's
makes sense.
survivability, but it's not claw or block in order to get to the pilot, because it's like 4 or 5 skills down the line.
Mm. Okay, Pentacore Junior. Well, has got Wrestle. Yeah, logical skill. So probably
Yeah.
get tackle on that next. Make it a sapping player. For
Well,
those.
you called that. You
Yeah.
know, we said that. That's what we thought you would do.
And finally, Bighorn Valda. Bighorn Valda, where are you? There we are. Sure hands. Ah, so we've got a ball carrier here as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Seems
yeah. That's a smart move.
all logical picks here. We are looking at one of the scary teams. 2 strength ups. That's scary.
Yeah.
Basically, 3 big guys we're looking at there.
It's a nightmare team.
Could be seeing tentacles on one of them, because one player's
got
more tentacles. Seems like a fun idea.
I think that's absolutely viable.
Probably.
Another number 5. Yeah, giving him tentacles rather than block and just.
So, Commissioner Gibbs, Barmy Army versus Lothan Leviathans.
I did watch this a bit on and off, but I'll let you talk about it. Absolutely.
Well, the first few turns were very promising. For the elves got the elves received. They got the ball up, picked the ball up, and they moved to the right. They caged up what they thought would be pretty damn safe on the right. Then the Chorfs based them with all the guard players in the world. And then the elves roll double skulls. And oh god, that cage has been based. What's going to happen here? And I was torn between 2 highlights here. This is the one that I'm going to talk about, the one I didn't pick for the highlight. Where the Chorfs punched their way through, got 2 dice on the ball carrier, and knocked the ball carrier down. And so I had insult to injury. I think it was Killer Ken of all people came in and gave a foul. Fouled the ball carrier. Ball is on the edge of the pitch, and it looks pretty damn difficult to get to the ball. So we'll look at the highlight. Just stands everyone up, does all his fundamentals. Fails a dodge. I felt probably not an important dodge. Probably could have done this a slightly different way, but he chose to do it this way, and pushes person onto the ball. Ball goes off the pitch, and ball bounces very, very favourably. You won't be able to see it right now, but here we go.
He took that dodge for the assist, I think. And then he was up. Yeah.
Nice and safe. The centaur can get to him. The centaur does try to get to him next turn, but rolls a double push, and it was not very likely. Lucky for him.
Well, I think that's a good moment to just talk about when I did watch it. So, Willem, don't take these 1 dice blocks. Seriously, if your player hasn't got block and the other guy does, don't do the 1 dice block. Too many 1 dice blocks. You played a lot better. Willem did play. He did play a lot better, but that was just a highlight of that he was taking too many of those unnecessary 1 dice blocks. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
So like 2 of his turns ended because he took a 1 dice block and failed it, and
it's not worth it.
The Chorfs the ball centaur chases the ball carrier, tries to punch it, gives him a punch, but the ball carrier stays on his feet because it was a double push. The ball carrier then dodges away and scores. And then in the second, after that, weather's still awful. The Chorfs receive, and they do a very slow, very boring very methodical, push up the pitch. Yeah, Willem plays okay, doesn't do anything too untoward yet, but it's just what have we got? Yeah, it was just slow push, fails to get out the way. Well, fails to get the ball carried. Fails to get any basing on the ball carrier and just chores slowly creep up the pitch.
I'd like to take a moment to say I like your notes. Your notes are like one paragraph per game, not the 5 pages I've got in front of me. So
Yeah.
I'll take a lesson from that.
Second half, the ball is kicked deep, but the ball centaur picks the ball up, starts running up the pitch. Willem gets an elf through to try and chase him down. That elf gets targeted and fouled off the pitch. But takes a gobbo with him, because a gobbo obviously did the foul. Elves, the elves also tried, the next few turns later, the Chorvs have made a cage around the ball carrier, and they fireball, the elves fireball the cage. Knocks down the two Chorvs at the back of the cage, but the ball carrier is still on his feet. And Willem fails to get anyone to base the ball carrier again. I
think Phil said a comment as well, which I agree with. If that fireball had done better, this would have been a 1-1.
There was a couple of occasions that could have done that because there was low edge. The team's highest edge is 3, and if you can knock down a ball carrier, there's always a chance just to grab the ball, and even if you're struggling, just throw it away, throw it really far up pitch if you're struggling to keep defense.
The theme of this season is at least he used his wizard. Hey, anyway.
Yes, he used his wizard. There was a couple.
He used his wizard.
Another thing we'd like to point out about this game is Willem wasted 300k. I think that's how much they cost on a halfling master chef that took a grand total of 0 rerolls over 2 halves.
It happens. It does happen. I will say, I think against a team like Chaos Dwarves that have a lot of block and stuff like that don't need the re-rolls as much. I don't know. I don't know if it's a bad pick. It's just when it doesn't come off, it's frustrating. You know.
That's a 1 in 64 game when it comes to that sort of odds.
I will say though that I think Willem did actually play better than I've seen him play for getting a 2-1 against a coach Phil. Like Phil and that team. I mean, he did really well.
Are going to be favourites. Getting 2-1 against that team is very good.
With a new high elf team, so you know, I think Willem is coming along quite nicely as a player.
Yeah. So we have some statistics here. Nothing too untoward here. The bash team does the bashing. The dodge team does the dodging and the passing. 4 knockouts inflicted. I think it never felt like that Willem was really too many players down at any point. It really felt like he always had enough players to do something. But yeah. 13 SPP to 11 SPP. Pretty good numbers. Obviously, that's a level up for a brand new team. Whoop-de-doo. I wonder what he's going to take.
That's it.
Dice rolls. I'm not expecting to see anything untoward here. Commissioner gives Barmy Army. Makes a grand total of 1, 7, 8, 9, 16, 22, 29, 34 dice rolls. That's quite a lot of dice rolls. Oh, wait. No, it's not. That's a lot of dice.
Well, there's probably a lot of dodges going on there.
Though, I just scrolling onto this. Bloomin' heck. Grand total of 5 knockdowns. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah. Kind of sharded by the dice. I think William was really screwed over just by the fact that he just doesn't have the skills on his team yet. It wasn't really anything else. It was just the lack of skills on the team.
It is, yeah, definitely. We're building up the new team. I mean, he's having to re-roll dice that later on he'll have the innate skills to re-roll and yeah.
So yeah, now let's quickly look at the level up rolls. We have Matt Ball gets a level up for Commissioner Gibbs' Barmy Army. What did he take? What did Matt Ball take? He took Mighty Blow. So
Of course.
we've got a Chorf killer on the loose. Um,
Yeah, that's it, Phil. That's your one mighty blow. You don't get any more.
Yeah.
No,
I'm expecting the teams with Claw to hopefully get rid of that player. Please get rid of it, guys. I don't want to face that. And then on the other,
No.
and then on Willem, that's not Willem's team. That's Chris's team. Willem's team. Where is it? There it is. One level up as well.
No, that's the right choice.
Movement up.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
I think so. Yeah, it's
I
the
like
right
that.
choice.
So he's a blitzer down for the next match, but I think he's purchased an apothecary.
Oh, he's got an apothecary. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nothing we can say there. You did. If you hadn't taken the apothecary, well, I might be here screaming at you to take it. So yeah, you did the right move there.
Yeah, well done, William. You took your apothecary. Kenneth. Okay, now.
Okay, listening, Ken.
Now, on to my game. Snobbity Snobs versus As Requested. You couldn't get more elfy if you tried.
No. Yeah, 2-4.
2-4. Okay, High Elves received in the first half. They made a throw with their strength up thrower to a player, and that player was pushed forward. I can't remember what the player's name was off the top of my head. I went in and put pressure on the ball carrier. Ball carrier then runs back and throws back to the thrower. The thrower then runs to his touchdown line. I then bring one of my blitzers and one of my catchers up, chasing down their thrower with a movement down. The movement down thrower with a strength up, I believe it is. I'm not sure if it's got strength up or not, but I know he's got movement down. And I'm just chasing down, and I've chased it down, and I base it with my shadowing blitzer.
Because we all love that guy.
Yes, so movement 5, because this elf had the movement down, and he tries to dodge away. He successfully dodges, and then I shadow. And this happens a couple of times before he falls over. He then he then re-rolls that, makes a throw, but then fails the catch because the person that was going to catch the ball had been based. Though he said to me that the reason he did those movements was to stop my pass block, so people are being a bit savvy with how they're passing now to stop my pass block skill being effective.
Yeah,
ball stays.
That's what you want. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You know, interesting skill choices that are working for you.
Ball stays on the ground for a turn because I failed to pick up the ball. Then he fails a go for it or a dodge to get to the ball because he was dodging into a tackle zone with a go for it. It was quite brave of him, and it fails. Next time round, no nonsense. Pick the ball up and run straight in for a touchdown. 1-0 to As Requested. Second drive was a bit safer for Chris. He keeps the ball secure, and when I get close, he then makes a good pass. He gets out of the way, makes a pass, runs downfield, and makes it 1-0 at half time. Second half, I end up scoring quickly because that's what I do. And the decisive moment is a blitz. So I end up getting a blitz. I am able to secure the ball. I then make the score 3-1 with a handoff because I was tempted to do a pass, but I didn't want Chris coming back to make it 2-2 because 2-2 with that many turns is a bit different than 3-1 with half a half to play. Chris then scores quick in his own response. I have actually forgotten when I put my highlight in because there were so many goals and forgot I forgot where I put the highlight. I'm going to grab the highlight up now.
There we go.
The highlight is at the start of it, so this is me trying to delay for a turn, and then almost getting punished for it. So I've basically put a bunch of catches far downfield, and this is just me trying to delay for one turn. And then Chris comes in with what I didn't notice was a 3+ dodge to get a 1 dice on the ball carrier. I try to throw the ball away, and he gets intercepted on the 6.
Oh!
And he knocks down the ball carrier, and he knocks down the ball carrier that tried to dump off. And then Chris tries a bit of brave play. Tries to re-roll it. He did this a couple of times where he would dodge into a tackle zone with a go for it and would fail those sort of things. I get the ball back. I realise my situation is not as safe as I thought it was, and that's how I score my second. Because trying to delay was not going to work. Then get the blitz. I then score off the blitz with a handoff. I then get another blitz. However, I wasn't as successful getting towards the ball carrier. Chris manages to break the ball off me, gets it safe, and then throws for another touchdown, make it 3-2. I can't remember if I was shadowing him on the way, because I'm doing my game off memory here. I then play another safe touchdown because I've got the ball, and I just play how I've normally played my touchdowns, where I keep the ball carrier safe. I then throw a bunch of catches upfield, and then I pick a catcher to throw the ball to, and then score a touchdown. I don't think I played well enough to deserve this win, to be honest.
No.
I could have scored one more. I could have gone for a 1-turn touchdown attempt before half time, which I didn't go for because I just forgot. I thought we had started the second half. I didn't think we were in the first half still.
It happens. It happens.
I'm trying to get SPP where I want the SPP. Chris was trying the same. Which is why he tried to move back the catcher and make that throws, because he was trying to get 2 completions with one of his people.
So that's an elf versus elf star player point game,
right? Yeah, so let's count the star player points. 12, 13, 15, 21 for Chris. 25, I think?
Yeah.
10, 15, 25 for me, so quite a lot of star player points. Dice rolls, I haven't actually checked the dice rolls yet. I could have been very lucky with dice, I'm not quite sure yet. Nothing particularly untoward here. A low number of 6s, but a high number of 2s and 5s. So
on an elf team, anything higher than a 1, because it's mostly dodge rolls, isn't it? You know.
As requested, low on the 6s.
That looks about even.
Looks about fine. These two maybe a little low, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. Block dice. Oh, I got a bit lucky there. That's a low number of pushes. That's a low ratio from pushes to pals. Only just. Probably within margin of error, but yeah, it's a little lucky. So yeah, I felt I was lucky to get the win. I felt if I didn't get the blitz, the game would have been 3-3 probably. So yeah, didn't play as well as I should have, I think. Chris played well enough. I think he probably could have, as I said, probably deserved it. Chris probably deserved a draw. He was trying to get his star player points and the right players as well. And
how was his risk mitigation? Because that's something he just takes. He's known to take insane risks. Did he calm that down, do you think?
This game it was fine, apart from making dodges into go for it. He kept doing a couple of 3+2+s. When he had no rerolls available. Anyway, let's do a quick look at the. I've lost train of thought. Star player point level ups. I got a level up on Morientes, Carlos, and Hierro. So Morientes got strength up. and I felt I was umming and ahhing about this, and I clicked it anyway.
Yeah. No, that's right. I think you made the right choice.
I taught myself out of it and I clicked it anyway.
Yeah, you made the right choice.
Hierro got a wrestle and Roberto Carlos got wrestle. Both seem to be the right choices in this league because
I
there's a
think
lot
so.
of block now.
And you need that. You need a bit of wrestle on the team.
Ivan Helguera got a couple of SPP, but he also got a niggling injury, so I sacked him.
Yeah,
because
makes sense.
he only had tackle, and I felt that if he had block or dodge, I might have kept him, but with just tackle, he's getting the sack.
Yeah.
And then if we look at Chris's team, did we get any level ups? We apparently didn't get any level ups, which I think is hard to believe. I feel like I must have not clicked his team.
Either way, he just the distribution, isn't it? You know, yeah. He's got some players getting close though.
Yeah. Oh no, I do remember. I did check it because the player that got 9 SPP was this one right here, and that means that they were on 17 SPP before this.
Yeah.
I think you said he should have been sacked. This player should have been sacked.
Potentially, yeah, because of the.
Yeah, no, the 9 SPP. I mean,
He can rebuild it up again.
I think it's still worth keeping.
No, I mean, for me, I look at stat reductions and it's not as good as if he didn't have the minus movement, but it hasn't got anything special. That's all I'm coming from. But no, if you disagree, yeah, that's fair enough.
Okay, well, we are gonna go look at the schedule. We're gonna.
I need to go and confirm it. Sorry, I have not given Callum.
No, we're not going to do that yet.
Actually, no, you can move it along and I'll confirm it afterwards. That's fine.
So we're going to have a quick discussion of how the results went and how we predicted. So Freddy's Nightmares versus Roland Rat. You predicted a 3-0 win. I predicted a 4-1 win. So we both got the result right there. I think no one really should be expecting 5-0.
No one got the score, but yeah.
Now, this one where I felt smug. You predicted that you would win 2-1. I predicted that the Israeli Defence Force would win 2-1. So
you got it closer.
I got closer. Yeah. I was right. You were wrong. So this is going to be a theme, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Next game, Grabbed by the Ghoulies versus Flight of the Lizards. You predicted Grabbed by the Ghoulies 2-1. I predicted a 2-2 draw. So I predicted a draw. You predicted a win. I was right again.
Yeah.
Actually, no, my mistake. Misread this one. So in this next one, you predicted 3-1 in Forgotten Refrigerators versus Dudes. Where's my chameleon? God, I'm losing my voice here, guys. Forgotten Refrigerators 3-1 to 2-2 was my prediction. So you got it right there. Next one.
Okay.
Gibbs Army versus the Leviathans. You predicted 3-0. I predicted 3-1. I predicted that Willem would score. I was right. Yeah, you were wrong.
I'll give you that. That's fine. You don't.
And you predicted 3-2 to me, and I predicted 3-1 to me against Chris. We were both wrong.
I think I got closer then.
No. I got the difference.
Say 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2. You said 3-2. I said 3-1. I got the difference right. You got his score right. So.
Oh, okay.
We were both right on that one. So yeah, that's this first week. Let's have a look at the matches that are happening this week. Freddy's Nightmares versus Forgotten Refrigerators.
Yeah, I think that we're both going to give that to Matt.
I think we're both giving that to Matt, but Claw might come useful here. I'm actually going to quickly get pen and paper. I think what do you think the score's going to be?
3-0 to Forgotten Refrigerators.
3-0 to Forgotten Refrigerators. I'm going to go with... let's have a look at how badly beat up his team is.
He's lost a Flesh Golem and a Ghoul.
Yeah, that's really low TV. So that is an effective TV difference of 800, though.
Yeah, no, he'll get inducements, but I don't know. I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 2-0.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 2-0 because Matt generally doesn't take risks. He plays he's no nonsense.
Yeah, it's good.
Commissioner gives Barmy versus Grabbed by the Ghoulies. That
I'll give it.
strength 4 werewolf is going to come in handy.
It will do. I'm going to give it 2-1 to Phil. Liam is coming on as a player, and he is getting a lot better. But I think he's going to struggle against all that guard and mighty blow and stuff. I think he can score. I think but 2-1. I think 2-1 to Phil in this. I think though Liam could surprise me.
I agree. I think it's going to be 2-1 as well. I don't think there's going to hopefully that will is it Nigel Farage? Who is it? It's Boris Johnson is going to cause some havoc. Get the bashes done, I guess. We'll see what happens with that. Next is IDF versus Snobty Snobs.
Tough one to call.
Lots of TV difference. Lots of tackle. Chris doesn't have any dodge, does he? So, he has 1 dodge. That's a lot of TV. There's a lot of tackle that's doing nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, he beat me 2-0. I think Daniel's coming a long way as a player. I think I'm going to give this one 2-1 to Chris. Although I do think Daniel has a good chance of beating Chris. I think if I'm going to get called on it next week, I'm going to give it 2-1 to Chris.
You say 2-1 to Chris. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 1-1. I think.
Yeah, that's a good call as well.
I'm being nice. I'm being safe there. If anyone is going to score more than 1 touchdown, it is going to be Chris. But I just think he's not going to.
I think it's how used Daniel is to AG4. Right, so it's 3-2 either way, but I'm not allowed to say that, so I'm going to give this one 3-2 to you. I think you're used to Leap. You know how to mitigate against Leap. I think you know about the agility. As long as you keep in mind he does have some bash in his team. I'm not allowed to say 3-2 either way. I have to give it to somebody, so I'm going to give it to you. I mean, I just think you'll be able to mitigate against the Rats like nobody else has been able to so far.
I am flattered, though I'm going to naturally downplay my position, and I'm going to say it's going to be 3-3.
Yeah, that's also that's definitely a bot, but I am definitely going to give that to you. So Roland Rat is seen as a bit unbeatable, but remember he was unbeaten all last season until he got to the final. So he is beatable. That's all I'm saying. No offense, Rob, but you know what I'm saying.
Now, Lastria Headhunters versus Lothron Leviathans.
I reckon we can do this. I reckon it'll be 2-1. I think Willem's game is up enough. I think he can score against me. I think he's going to struggle against all the bludge, though. So I'll give that 2-1 to me.
I agree. I think he's going to struggle so much that he's going to lose 3-1 because you're going to steal. I reckon you're going to steal one of his drives.
Yeah, potentially.
And the last game. The Lizard Derby. Yeah,
it's just unfortunate for Ken. I mean, Flight of the Lizards took a lot of casualties, but they were all badly hurt, so no miss next game. He's got his full squad up. Take apothecaries, both of you. Both of you buy apothecaries, just saying. I'm going to give it...
I'm going to say this. Neither of you buy apothecaries. Do it. That's a bad...
Yeah, don't buy them. I'm going to give it 2-0 to Liam. Leon, sorry, because I think...
I'm going to say 3-0, but yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, that's honestly, Ken, it's just about the miss next games and that you're down Sauruses. You can make those skinks work for you, though, but surprise us. That's all. Yeah,
I'm rooting for you, Ken, but I don't have faith in you in this game.
By goddamn apothecary. Anyway,
now let's have a quick look at the leaderboard. Not going to be much. So the highest.
No, I mean it's.
Obviously, we're going to have the high scoring TVs at the top, well, the highest scoring teams at the top. So Roman Rat won 5-0, so they've got a TD difference of 5, which is why they're top, and I'm second because I'm the only one that won by margin more than 1 other than Rob, I think.
Yeah.
I
It's early days yet. I mean, it's the first round. We all still have a chance.
Sorry, I'm the only one that scored. I'm the only other coach that scored more than 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Nothing really exciting here, but we can see instantly there's a line. There's a line.
Yeah.
And the only reason that these 2 teams are on the other side of the line is because they got beat by higher TV teams. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yes. Good luck to everyone next week. I think that's all, folks.
That's right. And we will see you next week.